Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I am going to attempt to film this video really quickly and be really efficient because I don't have any camera battery and I have no way of even charging my camera battery. So if anyone who doesn't know, me, Adam and Bonnie, we recently experienced a fire in our apartment in Dubai, and hence why I have no way of charging up my camera battery because a lot of our belongings are ruined, and that is one thing of many that is ruined. The electrics don't work. I don't really know what's happened to it. But anyway, I did update my Instagram to share the news. It seems like so long ago now that happened. So much has happened in the last 3-ish weeks. But yeah, I actually put my Instagram on private as well because, I don't know, I guess I was trying to update a lot of people at home what was happening. And when the fire happened, you know, I only had very limited battery on my phone. So it's a really odd thing when you move abroad and you have so many loved ones in a different country. It's a really bizarre thing that you update your social media to tell your loved ones what's going on, but I couldn't use the limited amount of battery I had left to tell everyone. So the easiest thing is just to put the same message out on Instagram and update everyone that way. So in terms of the fire, I'll try and talk you through what happened there because, you know, I had so many messages of people asking me what actually happened, what caused it. You know, was it just you guys that were affected? Was it everyone? And to be honest with you, there are so many things that I don't know. I don't know what caused the fire. I don't know much. But from my perspective, my experience of going through it was that it was a Sunday night. Me and Adam had gone to bed just like normal. And when it got to around 3 AM, Bonnie started barking. Bonnie's our dog, for anyone who doesn't know. But Bonnie started barking really loudly, and me and Adam were just trying to put her back to bed, and we kind of had our eyes halfway shut. But then I noticed that it was almost like someone had turned a light on in our bedroom and the whole room lit up, and I was like, oh, that's really weird. And then Adam said to me, did you see that? And I said, yeah, I did. And then it was pitch black again. So that, I don't know, it didn't really click anything in my mind. But at the same time, Bonnie was still barking so much. And in our bedroom, there's a door right next to my head. So it's like Adam, me, and then a door. And yeah, there's a door here. We don't even have a curtain on it, to be honest, because there's no buildings there. There's no construction happening there. So it's not really a problem not having a curtain on that door. But literally where I go to sleep, usually, yeah, there's a door right next to my head. And Bonnie was just barking so much out that door. And then the same thing happened again. The room lit up all over again, and I knew that it must be coming from outside and coming through our balcony door. So I thought, right, I'll get up and have a look, and I just assumed that it would probably be a crane maybe driving past. I mean, there's so much construction that happens in Dubai, particularly in downtown as well. You know, it's there's still a lot of areas of sand which are due to be built on, so it wouldn't be unusual for something to kind of drive past our apartment, but it is unusual for it to be that high. So it really did get me curious, and so I kind of like jumped out of bed, went to sort of like pat Bonnie, and I just looked out of the window, and I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. But I could just see orange, the most ferocious, brightest, vibrant orange I've ever seen in my life. I don't really fully remember, but I remember just saying to Adam that we were on fire. I think that was my words. I think I said, Adam, we're on fire. And it was such a weird thing. I could not work out if what I was seeing was real. It sounds so odd, and maybe anyone who's been through something kind of traumatic as well will relate to that. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was a really bizarre thing. So anyway, Adam jumped straight out of bed. He looked out the door and he said, we've got to go. So he literally grabbed Bonnie under his arm, and he was by the front door. And I don't know what I was doing. I don't know. Adam was so calm. You know, he just was in full on action mode. I was just like a frozen ice sculpture, just staring at fire burning away at my balcony. So that was a really weird thing. And then that was it. Me and him and Bonnie, we just started running. We went out onto our hallway, but it's a really strange thing again when there's a fire, you don't know what's behind any door. And I think for me, I was very confused about whether I had or had not seen a fire, because we are on one of the highest floors in our building and there was no alarms going off at that minute. So I thought, if a fire has managed to travel up the whole side of the building, how are the alarms not on? And then, I don't know, I was just running and thinking about all of this. I wasn't sure that I'd seen a fire. It sounds ridiculous, but I really wasn't sure. The more we were running down the stairs, the more I was panicking, thinking everyone else is asleep, no one knows that there's a fire. And then when the alarms went off, I was also like, oh my gosh, okay, there is actually a fire. Everyone starts filling up the staircases and it's scary, you know, everyone's running away from something, they don't know where it is. When you're in these staircases, there's no windows or anything, it's just like a boxed in staircase, so you don't know where or what is around you and what is the safe thing to do. You just know you've got to get out because you hope that that is the best thing to do in that situation. So yeah, anyway, we kept running, we're up high, it takes a long time to get down. I stupidly wore the most ugliest pair of pajamas I probably own in my entire life, but also the bottoms were so oversized as well. I was basically running and I thought at any minute now my trousers are just gonna fall down because they were just so oversized. But luckily I had a hairband in my hair, so I was able to like tie up my trousers, because yeah, I was just running and they were falling. We then come out at the bottom and there's a security guard guiding us as to when to run. There's literally huge bits of metal falling from the building and all sorts. There's trees on fire. There was a lot going on. So there was a guy guiding us when to run to make sure that nothing fell on us. And you know, I cannot even begin to explain my appreciation for the security that work in my building, for emaar, the developer who owned the building. They have really got it down on how to handle a fire. You know, everyone knew where to go and what to do and where to be. And I feel as horrible as it is going through a fire in your building, I felt still really safe and looked after by emaar. I just trust that they know what they're doing. And yeah, it was evident that they knew what they were doing. Like everything from getting out and then staying out and being told updates was just handled really well. And they really care, you know. They even arranged for like massive water bottles to get delivered to the site with a water fountain so you could have fresh water, because you know it's hot. We're in November, which is winter here, but it's still really hot. So that was great that they organised water for everyone. They also ordered loads of like deck chairs to be delivered so that people could sit down. They arranged buses to turn up so that people could sit within aircon. They really did as much as they could to keep us safe. Because also, yeah, that's another thing, there's so many people out and about on the streets. And yeah, it was just so strange looking up and seeing your apartment on fire. So the whole building wasn't on fire, there was just one side that was on fire, and that just happened to be our side. And I don't know anything about how it started, when it started, what floor it started on. All I know is that I woke up and I saw the fire outside, and when I came outside, the whole side of the building was on fire. From there, we were waiting, and we were waiting to see whether my sister came out, because my sister lives in the building and my brother-in-law lives in the building, and we've got friends in the building and friends' babies are in the building. So you're just waiting to see the people that you care about get out, and everyone got out. There was no casualties, I'm really pleased to say. the fire engines turned up. They had a huge hose put on a massive crane, and then the hose literally went up and down the side of the building, just pelting water at the fire until it went out. So I think at that point we'd seen what the building looked like. I think we knew that none of us would be going back in that building that day. So next thing you know, we were told that we would be put on buses, and then we were taken, we didn't know where we were going. We were getting on a bus. We had Bonnie still. Adam had cuts all in his feet because he didn't have any shoes on, and there was, like I said, burning metal on the floor and whatnot, so it just kind of like cut his feet open. But next thing you know, we were dropped off at the address Sky Views, which is a really gorgeous hotel. I'm gonna have to insert a picture of what it looks like because it's iconic. You probably would have seen it before. It is maybe one of the most expensive hotels in downtown, for sure, maybe even in Dubai. It's a wonderful hotel, and we got dropped off there. And bear in mind, obviously Adam hasn't got shoes on. I've got that whole mishmash of PJs on. We've got Bonnie, nothing. We haven't got her lead, no poo bags, no water, you know. We've got nothing for her. It's just scraggly looking people turning up at this amazing hotel. And they were so welcoming. They were really kind. They put me, Adam and Bonnie in a really big room because they knew we had her, and they basically said just check in and go to sleep, and we'll update you when we have something to share. So that was that. We checked in, we went into this unreal room. It had amazing Burj Khalifa views. It had the biggest bathroom I've probably ever been in, his and hers sinks, a study, the mini bar. Oh my gosh, I've never seen a mini bar like that before in my life. It was just all very, very bougie, and you know, not for 1 minute did we ever want to be there in that situation, but it was still, I don't know, when you're having when you're going through an experience like that, I think you've just got to try and take any positive from the situation. And you know, it was really nice being in that hotel, and it definitely helped with what was going on. You know, we were just walking around like, wow, and it really did take our mind off the fact that our apartment had just been burning. So we went up and went to the Skyview pool, and that is the most amazing pool I've ever been in. The views from that pool, it's a huge infinity pool, and it is unreal what we saw. And when we were up there, we saw Jake Paul up there as well, and I think it is quite a celebrity hotspot. I know that Ekansu and Davide were there as well, and yeah, it was really funny walking past Jake, and I was just so tired, and I just smiled at him like a total weirdo. I didn't even know what to do. I was just confused why I was there and why he was there, and I didn't really know how I was feeling, but yeah, I was just trying to keep it together. And but yeah, the pool is unreal. So if you've ever got anyone coming to Dubai, or you ever want to go and wow someone in Dubai, then that is the place to go. But I'm pretty sure you can't go to that pool unless you are staying there, I want to say. So yes, what else was I gonna say? So anyway, yeah, we stayed there for a bit. The next day we were told that we could go into our apartment and go and collect some of our essential items. Adam was amazing. He went in, he got his essential items, he got actual clothing, he got his charger, he picked up his laptop, he picked up shoes, you know, he picked up all the things that you were meant to. However, me, I went inside and I was just walking around heartbroken, looking at all of my stuff ruined, picking up everything, seeing how wet it was to put it back down again. And the reason everything was so wet is because we had no windows in our kitchen or our bathroom, and the amount of water that came in through that massive hose that I mentioned just meant that our apartment was just saturated with water. You know, our rugs, everything, it was just, so much stuff was ruined. And I can't even explain how that felt going in there. We've only very recently kind of got everything all together, all of our artwork, all of our belongings, like we saved up for, you know, a really long time before we actually moved out to Dubai, and then just to see it all ruined was really sad. And we didn't even fully know the extent of what was ruined in that snapshot moment, because we were there to go and pick up items, but I just looked around and was overwhelmed with how much was damaged. And you know, it was sad. So then we went back to our hotel, we stayed there, we were just waiting for updates, and then Kelly and Nathan, by the way, which is my sister and my brother-in-law, their side of the building was absolutely fine, so they were able to go back to their apartment really early on, I think maybe the day after the fire, whereas for me and Adam, we have never stayed in our apartment since. You know, the day that the fire happened, we have not stayed a night there. And we moved from the hotel to a serviced apartment, and that was a couple of days after the fire, and that's where we are right now. So this is our second room in the serviced apartment, because the first one didn't come with a balcony, and that's quite hard with Bonnie. So yeah, we are staying in this serviced apartment. We don't know how long for. Some people say 3 months, some people say 6 months. I think it all depends on how quickly they can source the materials to put our apartment back together. In terms of our apartment, the actual sort of foundation of it, I think is okay. Like the tiles, they all seemed okay. There was a couple broken. Obviously, like I said, there's no windows or doors, so was, you know, a lot of glass everywhere. There's a lot of water damage in terms of the kitchen. You know, we've got a wooden kitchen, so everything has expanded, everything's warped, all the doors are warped. You know, there's a significant amount of damage has happened there, but I would say there was more damage to our belongings than there was to the apartment. So I did bring a little article of clothing to show you what a lot of our clothes look like. So this is a pair of Adam's shorts, and as you can see, there's just loads of like black, I don't even know what this is. I don't even know. It looks like paint, but it's not paint. It's melted black something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, a lot of our clothes has it. You can't really, on some items it kind of looks a bit like a fashion statement, but yeah, it's obviously not how we bought them. Anyone who lost any clothing in the fire, I do really what's the word, I do really sympathize with, because yeah, we've all got a lot to replace. And I mentioned my kitchen was just completely expanded. There was so much water. Every pot that we took out of the cupboards was covered in water, which therefore meant we lost a lot of our food. The electrics were turned off, so everything that was in our fridge and freezer was gone. We'd only recently done a massive food shop as well, so that was really gutting. Everything from like toilet roll, you know, that's all gone. I know it sounds really petty, but just you know, the things that you've already bought for that month, they were gone. And dressing gowns, slippers, everything just not usable. I can't even explain it. There was just so much that just has not been able to be saved. We think our sofa's okay. That has all now been moved to a storage facility, which was organised by emaar. So we don't know if that is still okay, because it was left in an apartment for about a week when with just really hot air coming into the apartment. As I said, no windows, so it meant that the air that's just outside is now inside your apartment. And because it was so wet in our apartment, I don't really know what condition those things are in, because mold can go really quickly in that type of environment. So I guess that maybe is a future problem that we've got to deal with. So yeah, so that really in a nutshell is what happened on the night of the fire and what's happened since. Our apartment right now has literally nothing in it. Everything has been moved to a storage facility, or we have taken some belongings and moved them to our serviced apartment, or our other belongings that we still wanted to have access to that weren't damaged, we moved to my sister's study. So we have got our stuff everywhere, and that also just makes things a little bit tricky. You know, every now and again I'll think, oh, I really need this, and I don't even know where it is. I can't I can't remember which suitcase it's in and in which location. It's been really hard. That side of things has been quite hard. But in terms of everything else that's been going on, I don't know what to say really. The things that I am thankful for, the things I'm really thankful for in this whole situation is that emaar have looked after us so much. We are staying in this apartment for free. We do technically still pay our landlord, you know, our rent, so I don't quite know how that works, but we are not paying to stay here. We have had a roof over our heads every minute of every day, and that has all been provided by emaar, so for that I will be forever grateful. We have been allowed to stay in an apartment building which does not allow dogs, but they have given us the exception because obviously we have Bonnie. They've really tried to make it as easy for us to be here with Bonnie as well, so they allow us to go in and out of a different exit, so that has been super helpful. They've also given us the balcony, like I mentioned, so that is amazing. I cannot fault that in any way, shape or form. In terms of family and friends, I am lucky. I feel lucky every day. My sister, my brother-in-law, they have been amazing for letting us store all of our belongings in their study. I also have had some really lovely gifts from really thoughtful, generous people. Like my mum and my sister, they gave us a food voucher for Kibson's, which is a supermarket out here which does loads of Sainsbury's food, and that meant that we could stock up on just all the things that we had lost, like rice and just, you know, the stuff that you just don't really want to buy again, like salt, pepper, all that kind of stuff. So really thankful for that. My mum also bought me a dressing gown, slippers and hot water bottle and pajamas. Oh, I felt so happy to have that because I lost so many pajamas in the fire. A lot of it was out on the balcony. We'd done the wash the night before, so it was all out there drying, and yeah, they were all holey and, you know, just not savable at all. So yeah, and like other things like slippers, they were just saturated in disgusting smoky water. You couldn't clean them. That was way past that. So yeah, and then just really lovely other things. You know, I've had a friend who sent stuff to our hotel the day after the fire. She sent knickers and boxes for me and Adam, because, you know, we literally had the clothes that was on our back that day, and that's what we were living in. So when that turned up at my door, honestly, I felt like I could cry. I don't know if I did. I might have cried. I probably did. If things were not water damaged, they were probably fire damaged or smoke damaged, and yeah, that's been a hard thing to accept, but I am accepting it, and I'm trying to make this as positive as possible, because at the end of the day, things are things, and what is the most important thing here? Our lives are the most important thing here, and all of that can be replaced. As annoying as that is, that we do have to replace so much of our stuff, it is okay. It's painful and frustrating and so disappointing, but it is okay. I have not had any injury to my body. You know, we are fine, healthy people. So yeah, that is in a nutshell everything that has been going on. That's the reason why I haven't been on YouTube or Instagram. I have just had so much going on, and it really does take a lot of your time up. We've had to keep going back and forth because we've had to meet with people there who want to see the apartment. We've had to go back and, you know, do the whole packing situation. We had to go back and save as much as we could. We moved out everything that was wet. It does take up a lot of your time. And, you know, gladly I would do whatever I could to save what I had. But yeah, that is why I've not been posting anything, because I haven't had the time. And actually it's been a really hard thing, I guess, just like to just go through. Our life has quite literally been turned upside down, and anyway, I feel like now I'm through the worst of it. I know I've got future problems to deal with, and we'll just cross that bridge when it comes to it. But no matter what, I feel so grateful that I have got a roof over my head. I feel so grateful that I'm alive. I feel so thankful that I have Bonnie. I mean, her ears are just amazing. I would not be potentially here without her. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for my lovely friends and family who have just been so generous. Yeah, and we're just very grateful for the situation that we are in, because we know it could have been a lot worse. So yeah, so that's that. In terms of my YouTube, I really do want to get back into doing videos. I need to try and source new batteries, and I also need to try and source a new battery charger. I also need to try and source a new camera. I have got so much backup footage that I had filmed prior to the fire that it felt wrong for me just to put that out on my channel when this felt way more urgent or pressing, I guess, to talk about. And I just want to thank everyone for being so patient with me. I have not responded to so many messages, DMs. Yeah, it's been really tough on time, I guess. So anyway, positives that have happened in the last 3 weeks. One thing that I am so happy about, and I'm so just thrilled to share this, is that I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that has been such a amazing moment for me, because it really has felt like there's been a cloud over me for the last month. And when I woke up one day to receive that notification, I just felt like, oh, just true happiness. It just felt like a lot of hard work had been paid off, and I'm really grateful for all of you being here and following me along on this journey that I am just trying to navigate as best as possible. So yeah, thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. It really means a lot to have you all here with me. So that was good. Other positives in my life is that there has been so much chaos over the last however long, and it has been hard, but it has just shown me how strong I am. It's shown me how strong Adam is. It's shown me how strong me and him are together. We have just been through so much, and we are not anywhere near done. This is going to continue for a long time, but I feel like, not invincible, but I feel really ready for anything. Yeah, I can do life, and I'm gonna do it really well, and I'm thankful to be here. I've always been very, very thankful for my life. I'm not gonna lie. I've always been very much like, how did I end up here? You know, I feel really honoured to live a life. I don't even know what I'm saying, but I know what I'm trying to say. It's just that life is going to attack me and come to me and hit me in 1,001 ways for the rest of my life, but no matter what, I'm going to get through it. And I've just got to be positive, and I've got to remember that I am so lucky to be here and to even go through these things and get out the other side. So yeah, that's what I want to say really. But anyway, I don't even know where we've been on this video. I think it is probably all over the place. I haven't sat down and spoke to a camera in a long time, and it's actually quite hard to talk about because yeah, it's been really tricky. It's been an experience, something I've learned a lot from, and there's better times ahead for sure. So anyway, that is my update. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for listening, and I will speak to you very, very soon. I'm hoping my next video is going to be a vlog, which is of everything prior to the fire. I had some wonderful weeks prior to the fire, so I would love to get that content out. Anyways, right, I will see you soon. Lots of love to you all, and thank you again for being here. Okay, see ya.